Hey there, it's Justin, the renegade realtor from South Pasadena, California. There's an old joke that if you're of a certain age, you will maybe remember. If you're younger, you probably have never heard it and it wouldn't make any sense to you. But it's important, and here it is. The joke goes like this. Why did Japan bomb Pearl Harbor? They could have waited 50 years and bought it. And if that sounds odd to you, you're probably young. If you remember the 80s, you remember Japan was this economic powerhouse, and they were very intimidating. It felt like they were going to take over the world. Everything they seemed to do was better than what we did, and they just couldn't stop making money. And the dollar kept going down against the yen, and it was kind of embarrassing. Well, if you went from the late 80s to the early 90s, Japan had sort of sunk into this stagnation, and they never came out of it in 30 plus years. So that's why if you're young, this joke would make no sense to you. But if you're old enough to remember the 80s, it was a weird time, and it was weird to see Japan be so strong economically and then become so, well, not irrelevant, but so much of a smaller player in the world. If you fast forward to today, where you're seeing, if you grew up in the last 15 or 20 years, you've been hearing about China, the Chinese tiger, the dragon, the rising China, unstoppable. They can do anything. They're going to take over the world. And now, in the last few months or year or something, you're seeing all this bad news. If you're paying attention about China, they are in a terrible situation. They seem to have painted themselves into a corner where they're unable to do what they once did. Believe it or not, the median age in China is older than the median age in the United States. How is that possible? They're having trouble finding workers. Like, weird, right? They've got this authoritarian leadership that I just think is not up to the challenges of the modern world. I think that's going to hold them back, or is holding them back, and they've made a lot of awful decisions. The one-child policy has created a situation where there's many older people at the top and not enough at the bottom, not enough younger people at the bottom. So, and also the real estate market has gotten insanely overvalued, and now it's coming down. And people, I think younger people in China, they never heard of the real estate going down, and they just bought it, but they spend more and more, and they spend an enormous sum of their income goes to, on average, I think it's 70% goes to, or their wealth goes to real estate. And so now suddenly real estate's plummeting. It's going down fast, and people don't know what hit them. Apparently, they've lost 10% value of the real estate market, which is $70 trillion asset class, largest asset class in the world. Apparently, people are predicting it may go down as much as 50%. That's $35 trillion of lost wealth. That's pretty significant, to say the least. So a lot of economists are calling, or they're predicting the end of China as being a major player around the world. They're not going to be what people predicted they would be 10 or 15 years ago. So why am I talking about this? Well, there's no way that's not going to affect the North American market, especially the Southern California market, because Chinese buyers are such a major part of the market. So the question is how much? I don't know, but I'm going to keep an eye on it for sure, and I suggest you do that as well. There's an old Chinese proverb or curse, which turns out not to be Chinese at all, but may you live in interesting times. We certainly do, and whether we like it or not, here we are. All right, have a good day.